Welcome back to The Good Talk, our post-game recap and Q&A show where we discuss the game that we just played and answer all your burning questions, both Warhammer and otherwise. We just came off of a fantastic game between the forces of the Dark Angels and the Grey Knights. Of course, if you haven't seen it, we're going to spoil the heckins out of it.
Watch out.
And while you're at it, like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. So John, great game, right?
Dude, it was wild. Our rolls was just everywhere. Talked a little bit about it at the end of the game.
Yeah.
We just didn't know when we were going to roll hot. It was so rolls dependent. There's so many 4-up, like 4-up to wound, 4-up to save for both of us. Like there's just such swinginess, and the whole game was just mitigating those risks and playing the best we could. And really, at those last 2 or 3 turns, those optimizations were just inches of just optimizing how much we can crump in combat.
Exactly.
We just really got stuck in. So. What can you say? Like it was wild, and it came down to those rolls.
Yeah.
And
your 4-ups really fell apart at the second half of the game.
The thing is, like, if you roll hot in the beginning, you're just gonna be misleading yourself the whole rest of the game. You're just gonna be like, oh my god, I'm just a dice god.
Right.
I could never fail. Yeah. And then 10-man Terminator Squad.
My gosh, you obliterated the first half.
Yeah.
And then the second half just would not die.
I was like, yeah, I won the battle, the first battle, but lost the war.
Right, exactly.
I totally killed the Meltas, minimal losses there.
Right away.
On my end, and I was great. But to do that, I kind of like got too close to your Terminators. Now you rezzed one, really good play on your part.
Thank you.
Too close. The reason I was so close was because I wanted the smites to go off.
Yeah.
So it was 18 from the back, and then I was exactly 1 dread in front of the back, right? So it's like 2 dreads into 18 inches. Too close, apparently, and got a 7-inch charge.
Like, give our Dark Angels an inch, they'll take a mile, you know?
Yeah. It's good.
It was huge. It was huge. And you well played on your redeploy getting in there. I definitely didn't respect your distance enough. I should have, I didn't do the proper checks and balances and ask, like, how far is your range? Knowing you can redeploy here, how far back do I need to be?
It's hard to tell sometimes with Grey Knights because they're just so dynamic in the way they can play. Yeah. You never know what's going to happen with a redeploy. They haven't chosen their tide yet. Like they could go heavy into range, heavy into charges. I could just stay in the back, redeploy, deep strike, and now I can try to make charges. Right. 1s and 2s count as 3s.
Exactly.
I can go any direction, or I can stay back and just shoot in Tide of Shadows. So it's wild. I don't. There's hard to play. It's hard to play against.
It is hard to play against, but very, very interesting and rewarding, and just to kind of see when it played well, which you did.
Is this your favorite army to play right now?
Oh.
Grey Knights?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't ask me that after the Eldar release. Oh my God.
I know, but like you still really seem to be enjoying these guys a lot.
It's a great army. I know there's some Grey Knight lovers out there. I am definitely one of them. It's awesome in the way that it plays, but the thing is, there's so many limiting factors in the units that you can take. It's a dynamic army on the board, not so much in the list building.
Yeah.
There's only so much ways. It's kind of figured out by this point, and there's an optimal way to do it, right? Whereas Eldar, Craft World, Harlequins, there's so much you can dive into right now. That's like a lot of the fun in 40K, right? New codex drops, gotta figure it out, test it out, play against it, play with it, and explore it. Yeah. It's amazing. I'm still doing that with Eldari, so I have to choose Eldari.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a great game.
Well said.
How do you feel about it? Well, overall.
I thought it was great. Like I said, I had that initial mistake, which set me back a lot, and then my second initial mistake of Stubborn Defiance, which always gets me off guard. One of the big things with Dark Angels, I think more than some other armies, I like to play fast, mobile armies. Yeah. And I like my Dark Angels because they're so opposite of how I play. And deployment matters so much. You need to be right in the position to, like, if you're going to be an oath, if you're doing oaths, you have to get up there right away and like have that all calculated out. If you're going to do Stubborn Defiance, know exactly what you're going to do and where, and be able to project outwards on the game. Totally. And you really don't want to shift. I shifted. Luckily, I recognized it early enough that I
think it was a good play.
Thank you.
Like, you recognized where the opportunity was, and you went for it, and you knew what you were giving up, and you optimized your losses, right?
I know that's how Dark Angels end up losing in the long term, is if you're just, frankly, too stubborn, and you just kind of hold the line.
Imagine if you just sat there with your 10-man squad the whole game, and I just kind of played around you, right?
No pressure, letting you do your thing. So, yeah, I felt good about that change. And then from there, it was a really interesting game. I was like really worried, and then I kind of put you back, and then you responded and really well.
Yeah.
So lots of good back and forth right until the very end, which, like you said, it kind of swung in my direction for dice because it was that close.
I mean, I can't complain. I rolled really hot, but like when
both
we
did,
got
at certain
when we got
times.
stuck in, and I was like, oh no, I'm bouncing. And the thing is, like, it's definitely brutal when I don't wipe the squad of Terminators and shields are coming back,
Yeah.
and it puts me back. Yeah.
100%. Now, do you have an MVP for your army today?
MVP. This is a very good question. I'm sad I didn't get Hammer Handoff. I thought Strikes were going to be MVP and just wreck face. The 9-man did stuff. They tanked the Talon Master, got in. But it has to be the Dreads, right? I think it has to be the Dreads again.
Yeah. I think
The shooting.
and especially your GMDK.
Yeah.
The only one that killed like half of the squad at the very beginning. Oh my goodness, the hammer was so scary.
And it was, especially when your dice swing, that's punishing. Because
exactly.
now you're losing a Terminator.
Because it's guaranteed,
fail,
right?
yeah.
The other guy, you're like, oh, don't I do multiple sweeps, big D6.
Yeah.
And I still don't know what the right answer is because it's very unknown. But that guy was just every single one, even with the 6 that feel the pain, it's still on average going to be 4 damage, maybe down to 3, and just you're smushing. So
Totally.
I agree.
MVP for yourself, the Dark Angels?
I mean, I feel like it has to be the Terminator, the big Terminator squad with the Thunder Hammer and Storm Shield. And I say that like I'm reticent to say it, only because I was really happy with the Talon Master and how like him being exactly where he needed to be, putting out that output. I know we're gonna make a joke about this, but it's a Marine killer, and it's just that speed and mobility. So you know,
I mean, he
great.
like handled things by himself on the whole side of the board.
Exactly.
Really.
He was your consistent shooting when your Meltas died. He was a character, character block or bodyguarded, and he had the speed to stay in the game.
He's great. I love it. I think I definitely would like to run a second one in the list, but the first one with Arbiter's Gaze, super clutch because always hitting all the 2s, and I love the Warlord trait for setting you back a doctrine. Frankly, if I didn't have Azrael in the list, which I would never not have him in a list, he would take that Warlord trait on himself, so he can just keep doing that.
Nice.
So,
Awesome.
anyways, great game. If you guys have any more questions, do let us know. In the meantime, we're going to dive on into the questions we have.
Yeah, let me just maximize size here. Yeah, we're still in the laptop.
Super zoomed in.
Yes,
Super zoomed in. Thank you, Magnus. As always, Magnus did nothing wrong. Thank you.
Hey yo.
What up, Famioli? Yeah. What is your favorite nostalgic video game to play? Been rocking old RTSs over the last weekend, jumping between Age of Empires, Warcraft, and Lego Rock Raiders. Also, new mids is tight. I'm just gonna say
Nids-ish is tight.
New Nids-ish is tight.
New Nids-ish
I love the new
Kids Speak?
Parasite model.
Oh, it's so sick.
That we were talking about. It's really cool. It's a cool size.
Yeah.
It's like it looks a little bit maybe like twice as big as a warrior. Not quite.
You're like not sure, like, oh, what is this, like a cat, a hippopotamus? Like, what kind of animal is this?
Yeah.
You know,
We
you don't
need
know how
Bridger in here
categorize
to
it.
ID because like between like.
It's kind of a new size.
Between like Hormigaunt and Carnifex, there's really
not much.
Right?
His hypothesis is all wrong.
I famously don't play video games, but I can answer this because I used to play video games.
Yeah, totally.
Right. But I'm gonna let you guys go first.
And Zach warned us that we had a few questions, and none of them had to do with 40K.
Oh, I'm down. I'm ready for this.
One did
might-
a couple.
they snuck in.
There's a little bit. They snuck in. They snuck
okay.
in. That's a list. Okay, that's gonna be. And
I love it. I actually love it.
I'm into it.
Look, you mentioned a classic, Warcraft 3, Frozen Throne, one of the best games of all time. So amazing, so much good times there, and even still a good time if you have a good, solid group of friends that can play custom games. So fun.
I would say actually Warcraft 3 is like right when I stopped playing video games. I remember I was a senior in high school, and my next door neighbor was a freshman that I was friendly with.
You had a house?
Yeah, he had his own place.
Wow.
It was great. In the country at the time, back in the 20th century, 14-year-olds had their own houses. And I remember him playing it and being like,
so saucy today.
that's a saucy. I remember him playing it and being like, oh, that looks cool, but I'm a senior in high school now, and I don't care anymore.
So this is actually the game that made you quit games.
No, I've told this story. The game that made me quit games was Chrono Cross.
Chrono Trigger?
No, Chrono Trigger is for Super Nintendo. And it's very famous.
Yeah.
It's like one of the few games that's value actually goes up. Chrono Cross was for PlayStation and was its sequel. It is super cool.
Lesser
And
known sequel.
The story is I just dropped my PlayStation. It broke.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was like starting to date this girl, and it broke. And I was like, you know what?
Good riddance.
I think this is okay. I remember. Like, I think this is okay. I think I'm okay.
What a Zach thing to say. Oh my god. So Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
Nice.
Amazing. I love games where there's a tad bit of customization. I like the hero element that they kind of threw in with Warcraft 3 that RTSs really didn't have too much before.
Yeah.
So you're like leveling, kind of customizing your guy, and it felt very unique. So I really like that. I don't know. What are RTSs for you? StarCraft?
No, I actually didn't play StarCraft until StarCraft 2. Age of Empires is honestly the biggest one. My brothers and my dad and I, we played so many hours and hours and hours of like 4v4 Age of Empires. So that's probably the biggest one, and I've been really enjoying the new Age of Empires because it totally still kind of captures the whole thing, and I've been rediscovering it. And Command and Conquer Red Alert 2, definitely.
That's a good one.
Super nostalgic.
I think Commanders is the best one though. Right?
What?
That's the one with like a bajillion factions, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
Although the first one I actually played and got into, because it's an old genre. So
It is an old genre.
Tiberian Sun
Yeah.
was probably the one I got into it.
That's fair. That was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is it's a classic for me.
A couple summers ago, I picked up a original Xbox, and Meg and I played through Halo CE, original Halo
nice.
1
Nice.
together on Legendary. It was awesome.
I
It was
love
really
it.
it was a cool
That's
experience.
dope.
Like we did it because we were like, it's gonna be teamwork. Like we're gonna
Yeah.
get to do stuff, and that was really fun. So I would say Halo. The other one, this is super old school, from Sega Genesis days.
Whoa.
Man.
Yeah, all your guys' are like
before my time,
You
man.
guys are like came out when I was in college.
I started with the compact PlayStation. That was my first console.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I started with a Nintendo.
Yeah.
A real Nintendo, like a normal
Like
Nintendo.
a normal one, he says.
Yeah. And that Mega Man 2 is the game.
Yeah.
But
How was pinball? Was that pretty good too?
pinball, Pong. Oh, Baldur's Gate. I do remember Baldur's Gate 1, not Baldur's Gate 2. No, there's this game called King's Bounty that's super cool. Do you know this
Oh,
game?
Yes.
I've seen it. I know what you're talking
I
about.
learned about this in game school.
Oh, really?
Like as a historical piece. I'm serious.
Okay,
As like a game designer, we were taught about this game.
I bought this little thing that has all these Sega games built into it.
Yeah.
And then it also lets you put a game in if you
Yeah.
have one. And I found a copy of King's Bounty. I have this at home. I could bring this in. We could play King's
Yeah,
Bounty in the
let's do
studio. I almost cursed right there. It's so fun. It's so fun. King's Bounty is amazing.
I only know of it because they remade it for Steam
Oh,
and sold
yeah,
it as like a
yeah.
digital.
I should get to that. Oh yeah, we could also just do that.
Yeah.
No. The original's better.
Dollar, yeah.
Yeah, we could just do that.
Well, speaking of, we will eventually move on from this topic. One of my other favorite ones, one of the first games I also got with that PS1 compact was the first Spyro.
Oh, Meg loves for
that one.
Spyro. Yeah.
They recently did the Reignited, right? Redid the graphics, everything beautiful. And I was like, wow, like this game, first of all, that was my first video game. So I was obviously terrible at them. But I was like, this is way easier than I remember. Like, feels like way, like
That's
it's almost
like
not
all
fun
my
easy.
childhood games.
No, but Brian explained it. He's like, you know why what happened? I was like, no, what's up? They, in the original one, you had almost no control over the camera. It would choose how it rotates. And so there's all these cases where you'd have to do like a charge and a run and like a glide, and you're kind of going blind around corners, and that was part of the challenge.
Yeah.
But in fixing the camera and making it have all these modern features, it just takes all the challenge out. You're just like, cool, like glide, rotate the camera, see exactly where you're going. And it was like the craziest thing. It was kind of like,
Interesting.
they talked about the first Dark Souls, when they came back and like made it more efficient. There's the Plague Town. Plague Town famously known for being very, very laggy. And that almost became one of the things that made it so difficult. And in the revamp,
Interesting.
it's more efficient. So that's gone. So the question is that part of the original game? Have they changed the game? And it's kind of like Spyro, they definitely have.
Yeah.
But that's another question.
That's awesome.
Anyways.
Yeah, I was more of a Banjo-Kazooie guy.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Caldorf says DSX. That was a game changer for me too.
Oh man.
Probably one of the first RPGs. Probably the first RPG. No, that's not true. Definitely a game-breaking RPG that I played on Xbox.
I remember not being able to play it on my computer because I couldn't run it. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
oh, I'm gonna get this, and I couldn't run it.
Final Fantasy VII. I played the original.
Oh, classic.
Maxed everything out.
Yeah.
One summer in college with a friend
What?
from high school.
Nice.
We lived together for a
Jeez.
summer. Emerald weapon, ruby weapon, you name it. We did everything. Gold chocobo, whole thing.
Gold chocobo.
Everything.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, moving on.
Do we have more of these questions?
Yeah. Thank you, Prime Vino.
What up?
John, Melody wants to know what car you drive and if it's too big for you. this was, I would say, over the course of the game, about 40 to 60% of what they talked about was you and how you're weird, maybe, and like a psycho in real life. So,
Perspective.
also, what's the smallest car you've been in? Have you ever found a briefcase that glows gold when opened?
These are good questions.
I have no idea where a lot of this stems from.
So Melody just randomly was like, hey, I really hope John has a car that's comically too small for him. And I was like, I think it's like a mid-size SUV.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
These questions are dangerous. We can just rabbit hole here. Do I drive a car and is it too big? I drive a Crosstrek Subaru, so it's the perfect size. It has actually a lot of room. It's a mid-size SUV. Yeah, exactly.
He needs it.
It's a little sportier rather than
Family friendly?
family or what's like a luxury, I guess, comforting. Yeah, it's the perfect size. Smallest car you've been in?
Is that
Funny
Bridgers?
story.
Bridgers?
Close.
Yeah.
My mom actually owned a smart car for the longest time. It's like the ones that people would tip over because it's like so small. And like my mom and I, famously very lazy. When picking our choice of work, we've never worked more than like maybe a few miles away from where we live. And so she would literally work right around the corner. So she's like, oh, I'll just buy a smart car. I'm not going to go very far. And I would borrow it to like go to the gym at night and stuff. So because it was right there.
That right there. That's the type of thing that calls. I'd borrow the smart car to go to the gym at night. That's what. That type of thing that you let loose every now and then is what made people think is what makes people think this stuff about you.
Yeah, that guy that goes to the gym drives a smart car. You gotta be careful.
You're driving someone else's car to go to the gym at night. Very
And you get out of the parking lot and like other gym people are like,
it's hilarious. It's like it's the funniest thing.
You're like,
other gym people are like, nerd?
Yeah,
Do we?
Don't piss anyone off at the gym because now they'll just like throw your car.
Yeah.
They'll throw your car.
Tell.
They'll just move it. You just won't find it.
Where's my car?
Yeah.
And you literally could like totally move it.
100%.
Briefcase that glows gold?
That one's over my head.
Look. We wish. We hope so.
Like,
Eventually.
are you a leprechaun now?
Not saying it's confirmed, but
On brand for
it's up
today,
there.
though. He's so tall. He loops around back down being short.
Yeah.
I am the
That's how it
literal
works.
rainbow and the leprechaun.
Yeah, it's an off by one error.
Thank you. Magnus did nothing wrong. John, Melody wants to know what car you drive and if it is possibly a smart car,
What?
a Mini Cooper, insert extra medium car
did
that
not
is
see
comically small. Nope, I hid this from his view.
That's
He did not see
amazing.
this.
He did.
Yeah. Was
Sort of has already been answered.
driving a smart car for a while.
I think you should
A while.
answer the whole thing again from the start.
Ever been in a Mini Cooper?
Um.
Like a true Mini Cooper. Now they're like the.
Now they're like
Oh, not
longer.
the stupid ones. Oh,
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point? Why don't you get a Mini Cooper and then make it big?
Yeah, there's like a
man.
deluxe Mini Cooper.
There's like an Mini Cooper XL. And you're like,
large.
that's not a Mini Cooper. That's just a Cooper.
Countryman or whatever it's called. Man, Meg and I had a Mini Cooper for a while. It was a
Yeah.
convertible. It was awesome. I miss it out.
I'm a
honestly.
big fan of. My dad used to have one,
Yeah.
which is hilarious because you guys have seen my dad, and he's not a small man. So that was almost comical too.
My car's almost a medium, but not comically small. It's like too small to be an SUV. There's not a lot of space.
He says that it's an SUV.
Yeah. But if you compare it to other SUVs,
I know you don't want to be
it's
putting out the
definitely a
dad
small-
energy, but we got an SUV.
Look, there's cool guys that drive SUVs. Right?
Look, nobody even said it except for you. You're just want to let you know it's a little sportier.
Sportier
and
Because it has good mileage.
it's
but,
got that
but has horsepower.
sports mode.
I guess I would say that there aren't really any funny car situations going on here with us. Maybe the funniest would be Bridger. Bridger has a Prius that I think is definitely from the second Bush administration. And
Because like all the stuff that he keeps in his car has to be like dragging down his gas mileage because like
Keeps a lot of stuff in his car.
true.
Bay Area is great.
Yeah.
Place for crime as far as violent crime goes, very low,
Right.
but super big for break-ins.
I thought he was going the other way
Super
with
big
this.
for break-ins.
Super big for
You
break-ins.
don't leave anything
you recently had a
visible.
break-in?
Yeah.
Bridger will store thing. Like I dropped him off from the
Yeah.
AOS tournament, and he was like, "So who's taking the army? You want to take the army?
Yeah.
I take the army. We're both going to the same place tomorrow, which is here."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I'm going to take my army."
Yeah.
From my car
Yeah.
to my apartment, and then from my apartment to my car,
Yeah.
and then from my car to the
Were you
studio.
funny- yeah.
I'm not doing that with both armies.
He told me you were very paranoid.
So you take your army, and he's like, I'm just going to put it in my car.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you're not. Your car's right here, basically on the street. I don't know if you guys have seen his place.
Yeah, yeah.
His car is basically on the street.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like,
It's in
no,
Santa
It's like a
Clara,
car. It's
though.
a car like
If it's hidden, it's fine.
no.
If it's hidden, it's
It's
fine.
not.
In Santa Clara, you are crazy.
no.
You're overly paranoid.
No, there's break-ins.
There's break-in.
My car is broken in.
Yes.
Like I'm missing a window.
You're missing a window.
live in
Did you
Santa-
have something
live in
lying there,
Santa
though?
Clara.
But
No,
you did.
nothing.
But you did.
My
I had
car.
30 banshees.
Guys,
Wasn't
they
taken.
saw the banshees.
They're like, these aren't good. These aren't good.
We thought
This is
these were
before the codex.
They were like,
yeah. We thought these were scorpions.
yeah. Oh my God. No, that's not true. Our car was stolen, driven up the peninsula, used in an attempted
Chaos.
robbery,
Chaos.
and driven back down to San Jose and parked by a bunch of homeless people.
It's funny. We had a stolen car, actually car chased into our complex. Maybe it was your car. Yeah.
Yeah,
It actually
so-
ended up there.
Anyway, so no real funny car stories except for Bridger.
I have a funny Bridger car
Only
story, though.
non-funny car story.
So when Bridger and I first started meeting,
Oh boy.
like
Oh,
the first
no.
several encounters, something just horribly uncomfortable would happen.
Mel.
Always for Bridger. Like he would accidentally do something, or something would happen to me, and it would always be his fault. And he would just like, I'm like fine with it, but it's just like Bridger, so he's just like, oh, I'm so sorry, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah.
And this was like several incidents in, and we were somewhere, I don't remember where, and we're like
Brian's?
leaving. It might have been Brian's, and he was like parked in front of me. I'm parked behind. We're like getting our cars. I'm like on my phone, and then lights turn on. It's like nighttime, and I just all of a sudden just gunk, and I'm like, I look up, and he just kind of pauses,
Shocked.
slowly pulls forward, and gets out of the door opens. He's like, did I just totally back into you? I'm like, yeah. I'm parked. You just backed into me. And he's just like so uncomfortable. It was just like
Poor Bridger.
one in a long series of like things that Bridger did to me.
Look.
That was just like, I was fine with it, but I know, and you know that
was
Bridger does
dying.
this. He's like, oh, so that Adrian guy, he really doesn't like me, huh? You know?
Yeah.
That's exactly what was going on there.
Yeah.
Poor
was amazing.
Bridger.
Yeah.
Bless his soul. Yeah.
It's like, it's all good.
All right, back to Warhammer. Here we go. Thank you, Amsterdam. Hey, Titans, happy Thursday. I really like Blade Guard and Terminators. Not a big fan of Chaos, so don't want to play Dark Angels. What other chapters would you recommend?
Cool. For
This
Blade
is just a
Guard,
classic. What is Terminators is so broad, right? Kind of.
Terminators is the harder, well, yeah.
It almost fits nowhere but everywhere. It's the same place for almost all chapters, I feel like.
Yeah, I really like Blade Guard in.
I like Blood Angels. Blood Angel Blade Guards.
Oh, interesting.
And I like Terminator Blood Angels as well.
All right.
At least they used to be good. Not so much anymore. You don't see them too much. But
I would do Ultramarines or Space Wolves.
I was going to say Ultramarines, and just in
that's
general, Ultramarines
Wolfguard.
are cool.
Wolf
right?
Guard. So the +1 hit from Wolf is great. For Ultramarines, they have a strat for fallback and charge, and they already shoot. So like these utility units can get really get stuck in there.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Blade. I mostly like Blade Guard with Blood Angels, just
Yeah.
because they're so great.
It amps them
And they
up,
look
right?
amazing too.
Is White Scars not also like a common?
That's also good.
Yeah, but now we're just saying all of them.
Yeah.
350.
Is it?
Salamanders though.
Just hold the line, man. They're all about
Yeah,
Terminators and
that's true.
Blade Guard.
Standing.
They're holding the line, Zach.
All about.
If you said Vanguard vets, that doesn't fit. Blade Guard.
Okay,
sure.
true. Okay. Thank you, Cobalt Bandit,
What up?
with 8s.
With
Cleverly has Bs.
Mm.
You guys see that? I always get a kick out of the young kids doing that. Hey Titans, been working on my first 2K list. Captain on bike, Talon Master, Raven Wing
Bikers.
Bikers was times 7 with hammers.
Mm-hmm.
Apothecary, 2 times attack bikes with multi-meltas.
2x3.
Oh, I see. 2x3. Good. Terminator Chaplain, Terminator Librarian. This DSC. Why do I not know what that is?
Death Company.
No.
Servitors.
Not a thing.
You guys,
With Thunderhammers.
Deathwing Command Squad.
Deathwing Command Squad.
You guys,
With the Thunderhammer Storm Shield.
yeah.
Command Squad with Lightning Claws. Command Squad with Thunderhammer Storm Shield again. And a plain Command Squad. What do you think?
Jeez, so many hammers. Do you give up anything as a biker with hammers? Do you give up like a Melta?
Well, no. So the bikers with hammers, it's a special. It's the Corvus hammer. It's like a pick, basically. So these are the guys that have the plasma talents, and then for just a few more points, I think if you take them, you invest. It's like 5 more points to make them actually decent in melee. So it's not a thunder hammer; it's a Corvus hammer.
Gotcha.
I like it as this big brick because you can play. A lot of the strats play really well towards them. I didn't go first this game, but there is a pregame move, so you can pregame move the unit, get them up, plasma, have them fight, run away.
That's awesome.
I think that's awesome. I like this list a lot. Captain, Talonmaster, Apothecary. Yeah, the 2x3. I love that. Terminator Chaplain. Terminator Chaplain's kind of strange to me. I prefer Bike Chaplain or Jump Chaplain.
Because you're so aura based and buff based, you want to be where you need to be.
Yeah, just get in there.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Zach?
No, it's not. It's not true. I was gonna say it's not entirely dissimilar to what you just played, but it kind of is.
Yeah. No big block.
No big block and
right.
more
and
bikes.
it's almost like a min maxing, like a min of the Terminators. Mm-hmm. Right. You just have like a significant amount to maybe do the secondary, and then mostly bikes to, do as much damage or play as much of the game as possible. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's 2K. It feels like it's
Something
missing
missing?
something, right?
There's a lot of the little squads probably add up, right?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, I do like it though. I think the Raven Wing stuff is super interesting. That's one of the things we're gonna try next. So yeah,
Cool.
I like it though.
Thank you, and thank you, Fire Tyrant. Wild game, guys. As the edition goes on, I'm liking the Castigator and Exorcist more and Retributor a little less. They just die too quickly and trading harder into certain armies. Also, playing against new Harlequins, and it's brutal.
Yeah, Quins are brutal, man. They're just so efficient into some armies. Yeah, Sisters being one of them.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing. I totally get you on the Exorcist. Castigator, maybe I should revisit, but the Exorcist, I think, has play. It's in the back, frankly, with Sisters. That you're putting so many threats up there that people just don't have time to deal with it. Because, like you said, the Retributors are going to be the target number one, and they're much easier to kill. And Exorcist is like, okay, we can do all this work to like maybe not kill it. Frankly, I know that's been my experience fighting them. Brandon Grant has been playing around with one. He's still kind of on the fence on it, but it also gives you utility that the army doesn't have with the strat to shoot out of line of sight. So
Sorry, Exorcist. Say that again. You can spend a strat to shoot out of line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is pretty important with things like Night Spinners running around.
No, totally.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sold on Exorcist. Ignore line of sight is so good.
Yeah, it's pretty
Castigator, remind me of that one.
important. Yeah.
Is that the Predator-looking one?
It's the new tank that's kind of Predator looking.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, it looks super cool. Maybe I'll have to look at it again. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with Eldari, glass cannons running around, hiding behind corners. You want to be able to reach them, right, before they reach you.
Yeah.
And I can see why you like Retributors less.
The tough thing with Retributors is I think you need transports for them, which then means you're not getting like things like Morvendahl's Shaftermaster on them. On the other hand, as we also mentioned, there's lots of things that turn off rerolls, like Harlequins and Custodes. And so...
There's transhuman everywhere now.
Yeah.
-1 damage doesn't feel great.
Right.
Though Melt is nice.
No, Melta's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And the second part of Morvendahl's Shaftermaster would help with transhuman.
True.
It's tough, because if you're out of transport, there's lots of things that ignore line of sight now, like Exorcist now.
Yeah.
Well, here's Fire Tyrant's new list.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
VH's
Valor's Heart.
Valor's Heart, right? Morgan Val, Canonist, Hospitaller, 4 groups of 5 battle sisters.
Yep.
Celestine. Sorry.
30.
30 Celestines.
Yeah.
Yeah, sacrosants.
Yeah. So this is.
It's a weird word. It says 30 Celestine,
Yeah.
but I assume sacrosants.
Yeah. That's the.
Because
what
that's
you
a
want 30
character.
of,
Yeah. 2 Dogmata, 1
wow.
Seraphim, 1 Castigator, and 1 Exorcist,
Yeah,
1 group of Retributors with multi-Meltas and Cherubs, 2 Rhinos.
Nice.
Seems durable enough to do work with new missions.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Valor's Heart gives you the immunity to Rend 1 and the reduction on Rend 2.
Nice.
2 Dogmatas. I think 2 Dogmatas is a safe option. Double OPSEC is actually pretty nice, so I could see that. I think you could get away with 1. And I like that they spread out their threats, kind of like we were just talking about, right? So they Castigator, Exorcist, and the Retributors, which is actually interesting because it kind of makes for awkward targeting for their opponent.
Right. I think it's great. Like, especially if I'm an Eldar player playing against you, I'm hating the reduction in AP, especially of 1 and 2, because most of our shots are AP 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
Shuriken, pretty much all of Harlequins, unless it's a Void Reaver. A lot of like the ignore line of sight shooting, that's really going to chip at you for Craft World. You're going to make back your Valor's Heart really well. So it's going to be a great choice. And that's probably where you're weak. Not just doing damage into Custodes and stuff, but also taking damage from Eldari. So it's good that you're Valor's Heart.
Yeah.
Back to not Warhammer. Here we go. Thank you, Magnus did nothing wrong. John, you can own up to it. I know it isn't a Tuesday match. We all know you are a grisless veteran of the Vietnam War, special agent, inspiration to the Emperor, and possibly secret agent. This is really what chat mostly talked about for 60% of the show.
That's so funny.
We missed so much, John.
Oh my gosh. Weirdly enough, my grandfather, actually an agent.
Oh.
Kind of like a cool special agent in the Vietnam War.
That's so cool.
Kind of cool.
Dang.
My dad did Morse code in the Vietnam War.
Oh.
That's cool.
That shows.
It reminds me of the Benedict
age
Cumberbatch movie with the World War I
Oh, yeah,
deciphering code. I don't know what it's called,
yeah.
but it was cool. It's a good movie. Watch. That's what I think of when I think of your dad now.
Okay.
Based off of a famous
He's
person.
not that old.
World War I, right? Yeah.
World War I dad. Yeah. Oh man, this name. Pigeon Wing. There we go. That's easy.
You just had
It
to.
just came together. Yeah.
Thank you, Pigeon Wing. And Pigeon Wing accidentally super chatted us twice, which we're grateful for. And here's what we're gonna do, Pigeon Wing. Personally,
Say it twice.
I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, we're gonna give the answer and then repeat the whole thing. The whole discussion.
Like nothing. It's gonna be a
This
totally
is-
different answer
I think what we should do is just say
Yeah,
all the words
We're
twice,
just gonna like
twice.
foghorn leghorn it the whole time. Pigeon Wing, what we're gonna do? We're gonna go through this with you, and we'll see how these two can do because it is Custodes.
Okay.
But we're gonna also float this to Bridger on Saturday.
Oh.
I'm gonna send it to him
Okay.
almost right now somehow. This is his Discord. How could I do? Okay.
How do I message myself?
How does Bridger? How do I as Bridger message Bridger? Okay, here we go. First list in blind doubles thoughts: Shadow Keepers, Bike Captain with Lock Warden, Shield Captain with Stasis and Swift Date, Shield Captain in Terminator with Superior Creation, PP.
Yep.
Hated saying that just now. Not a good feeling.
Clip it.
Clipping it. Okay, and MMS.
Multi-meltas.
I hope. PP and MMS. 1x3 Shield Guard.
Yep.
2x3 Shield Guard.
Sphere guard.
Spear Guard. I was like, that was weird to do that way. Attack Vexilla.
Yep.
And 2 single Alaris Terminators.
Nice. This is interesting.
What is PP? All jokes aside, if such a thing is possible.
I was trying to place that. Prosecutor people.
Is it? Yeah. Is it a sister?
Chat, help us out. But this is cool. It's a cool concept, though. 1K list, blind doubles. He needs to be ready for anything. You don't know who your partner is?
Oh, Praetorian plate.
Okay. Thank you, Pigeon.
Right, so this is
That's
all
awesome.
upgrades for the Terminator, Captain. Sorry, carry on.
Oh. Cool.
You were talking.
I was
we interrupted
looking at where the character was. But okay, cool. Like what character was on.
You can't read that far.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying. Yeah, but it's blind doubles. It's kind of cool. So it has to be very well rounded.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you're going to be teaming with, right?
Yep.
You got to be able to cover the bases.
That sounds fun, actually. Blind doubles.
Right?
I've never done
That's what
that.
I'm saying.
Seems risky.
Seems risky. Seems very stressful.
Yeah, like you mean it's like risky for what you're doing on your Saturday? Like
Yeah.
that's a risky
Kind of.
Yeah, I guess
Just
that's
a
not
risky
you're not
ordeal,
wrong.
you know?
Yeah.
Could go south.
I like it. I think it's very self-sufficient, just like John was saying, which is important for blind doubles because you don't know. I'm just repeating what John said.
You're playing the mission. You're double down on the mission. You don't know if your teammate is going to go more killy, more durability, or they're going to play the mission with you. So you have a battalion where you're double down on troops, double down on Alaris that can be annoying and also do things. I like it.
Super glad you included the PP in there because it's just fun. Like you want to have that cool trick to play with.
This is the one that can heroic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
So
teleport heroic.
now you're helping your teammate wherever they're at, whatever their strategy is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? You
You can do funky stuff with
can
that.
do funky stuff.
I like it. Like, oh, you charge those Tau? Well, guess what?
Yeah, now
Praetorian
you're yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you, Ogre Barbarian. Custogers have passed 2K tonight.
Hey,
Mostly
congrats.
green stuff and painting to go. 25 models. It's far cry from the orcs I'm used to. Recommendations to stay focused and motivated to conclude this.
Oh. Play them in an event.
I actually do. I actually agree to this. I know I'm thought of as a serious, mostly hobby person, but for me, one of the things that makes me want to hobby is to be able to play.
Yeah.
And to go out and play with an army and then be like right away, you know what you need and you know what you want to add.
And show it off too, right?
Yeah, true. I mean, I actually really thought months ago I was done with the Beastclaw Raiders, but the more I played them, the more I was like, oh, I only have 2 Stonehorns. I need 3.
Yeah, we thought you were
play
done
them a little
too.
more. It's like, oh, I need 4 Stonehorns, playing a little more, 5 Stonehorns, and then Kragnos. So like the more I played, the more I was like, the more of this stuff I need.
Yeah, the more Stonehorns.
More Stonehorns, especially. But all jokes aside, like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like getting out there and playing. I would also say, honestly, a good motivator for me, this is going to sound ridiculous, to finish a hobby project, is that I want that space back. I don't want to keep things in my work area. I want them to. I want to buy my KR multi-case boxes. I want to put them in the foam and then put them where my armies go and stop keeping them where my hobby stuff is.
Interesting.
Because that's
yeah.
like, it gets cluttered.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's yours is just playing, right?
Playing. That's the most direct one.
Yeah,
One
that's
thing
very-
that also
yeah.
inspires me is, well, so for example, today I'm like, God, I want to go home and work on my blade guard and stuff, even though I know like now it'll be a little while before I play Dark Angels again, so it's kind of at
It
odds.
doesn't have to be though, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
it
I
could
think
be
so.
like as soon as 2 weeks. Like that's like.
So far away. God, look, I got to deal with Saturday's problem first. Now.
Yeah, I guess.
But same thing, right? Going to tournament on Sunday. I gotta get my Harleys ready. Like,
Yeah.
I know that's gotta be there and ready, so that's motivation.
There's a tournament on Sunday.
Yeah, you wanna go?
No,
No.
Oh.
but that's weird. I didn't know that they did. I thought like Sunday was like AOS tournaments only day.
No, you gotta
Like
hunt.
just like culturally.
There's a few places that do Sunday ones, and you
Okay.
hunt around for them. I
Yeah.
keep an eye on it for them explicitly because,
Yeah.
frankly.
Yeah.
But that, and then the other thing is, like, frankly, seeing a cool painted army. So, like, we just got some cool army, which I won't name, in the studio, and it makes me want to work on mine, right? So, like, going out and seeing other people do the same one, also do this at.
Yeah.
Totally.
Here's the name we haven't seen in a while. Actually, Magnus was asking about this guy. Thank you, Ernie.
What's up, Ernie?
We haven't heard from you for a while, Ernie. How goes it, Titans? I was once again late to my safety meeting yesterday. But what do you guys think would be a fun and cool Tyranid model or unit to Nurgalize? Ooh, I gotta say,
Twist.
there are certain armies that I just don't want to get Nurgalized.
Yeah.
This is one of them.
Oh, okay. Okay. So your answer is just don't.
No, I'm gonna think on it regardless. I'm gonna think on it. It's honestly all the alien Xenos armies, like, except like I
What
don't.
about orcs? Canonically, Nurgle orcs exist.
Then okay, then I'm cool with that. I feel like Tyranids are like, it's kind of like how sharks don't get like bacteria on their skin or like apparently don't get cancer. I don't know if that's true or not. Like, I feel like Tyranids, there's something about them that just like
No, that's actually quite.
it's somewhat true, right?
They're the shadow and the
fair.
warp. They're like very, like apart from the chaos powers.
They don't even use the warp to cast psychic. They have their own system, which is weird that they perils as a result of that.
It's also dangerous. Well, and they also, there's no like mind in any given Tyranid, right? They're all hive-minded, so arguably it's like you're not corrupting the thing. It's like a remote controller in a certain way.
And Tau are like just not appealing to chaos for some reason, right? So like
Yeah, see, that's weird. That sounds like something a Tau player would say. Like, Tau, we just don't have chaos, but I'm like,
they don't. Well, but that's what the fourth
get
sphere
them?
expansion was. Like they went into the Eye Terror.
Yeah.
They came back. All the Kroot and humans and all the other species with them, they like killed all of them.
Really?
And the Tau were just like, boy, we saw some wild stuff in there.
They were
the
just fine?
The Tau were like, they were like traumatized.
What?
But they were like, that's why there's like these like theories that
also
like.
sounds like Tau propaganda.
No, but that is why they're like theories.
Right?
Like the Eldar created the Tau. As the old ones create the Eldar. Like basically as this like fail safe against chaos.
Like, hey, in case we all die, these
But
guys
like
won't die.
it's Tau is made up of different races.
No,
like,
the Tau
saying,
species
saying
themselves.
all the others will die.
And that's what
I
I'm saying.
see.
Like when
I
they went through the Fourth Sphere expansion, they went into the Eye Terror or like did warp travel through the first time, and they encountered chaos, and it affected at least the humans especially that were with them.
yeah, humans, they're
And
lost.
I guess the Kroot and
The
like
Kroot died. Gotcha. And just the Tau
Weird.
came.
only the Tau came back, and
I
they're
see.
like super suspicious of all other races,
Interesting.
like the ones who went there now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Tyranid seemed like that a little bit too.
I accept your argument.
yeah.
But I also accept Ernie's.
Yeah.
And
So what would be cool?
immediately, right away, Turbogon.
Turbogon.
Yeah, the big mama.
Yeah.
It's like big old Nurgle belly. Nurgling's coming out now.
Yeah. Venom
100%.
Venomthrope. And anything with like the
Oh.
Yeah, I can see that. 'Cause that one's like almost, it's already done. That's all you gotta do.
Huh. Those are all really good ones.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say Carnifex because they're like cattle. They're like the cows. They're like the cows of like the bugs, and cows remind me of Nurgle. I don't know. 'Cause they're
wow.
That's very nice, Bridger.
I Bridger, right? Yeah, I was like, wow. I just got like major Bridger vibes from John here. But you know what? To be fair, we did grab the answers first. We grabbed the good answers
we
first.
did,
So
yeah.
what do you think, John?
That was an answer. That was an answer.
That
Those,
was an
you
answer.
definitely said words. Yeah. Thanks, Ernie. Appreciate it as always.
Yeah, and good to hear from you.
Yeah.
Glad you're still around
Yep.
and kicking. Folks, we did it.
We did it. Awesome. Well, good chat. Good talk.
Good talk.
And thank you all so much for joining us. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. And if you haven't checked out, our pre-recorded battle report is pretty sweet, and it's out. So go ahead and check that out. Other than that, lots of good stuff coming up. Saturday, Harlequins, Drakari. Monday, Soulblight Graveyards, Frost Ogres,
Which is what Adrian calls Beast Claw
I
Raiders.
can never remember the name. And lots more to come. Of course, if you are a member, we're going to be having a vote up Saturday for next Tuesday. Very, very exciting stuff. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll catch you next time on the Tabletop. Bye.